to my channel. What's up you guys, it's your girl Carly. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. In today's video, I thought we would do a how I take, edit, whatever, my Instagram photos. These are videos I absolutely love watching because I always like to make the process easier for myself. And before I used to go really ham with the photos and stuff like that, and recently I've switched up all of my content. I changed my username on Instagram and everything. So I thought, why not teach you guys how I edit my photos, how I take them and stuff when no one is around, and we would do that today. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I always get like so pumped doing the intros, I'm like literally out of breath. Okay, so for today's pick examples, we're gonna shoot these photos I have to do for Fit Girl Gang. So what that is basically it's just like a workout membership program thing. They chose me to do some stuff, so I'm doing a brand deal for them, but I've got to shoot some photos and do some stories and stuff and put it up before the 20th. So I'm gonna shoot those photos right now. I'll show you the behind the scenes of how I do that and everything and the equipment I use. So let's get that rolling. Alright, so the camera that I use is my Canon T2i. It's my professional DSLR. I also throw a memory card in here. This is just a 32 gig SanDisk one. And then this is the saving grace. It's a Canon wireless remote for my camera, so I can sit there and just take the photo, and then of course a tripod. Okay, so for these photos, I wanted to do like sitting on the stairs, like a yay, like type of photo. So I'm gonna set my camera up and fix my hair, I think, because this bun is like a little bit of a mess. So I'm gonna set my camera up. I'm gonna voice over everything that I am doing so you guys know exactly what's going on and how to take these own photos at home. So let's do it. Alright, so step one is getting my memory card into my camera. Obviously you can't take photos without it. Then I'm just setting up my tripod. So I actually shoot all of my photos vertically because I find when I shoot them horizontally it kind of just isn't my vibe. So I'm just screwing it into my tripod to shoot vertically already, so I don't have to like worry about anything. So now I'm just setting up the height and everything to kind of look best for the photo I have in my head. Then I'm going to switch into the wireless remote setting on my Canon so that I can just sit there and it'll autofocus on me when I'm sitting there. So right here I'm just sitting down and it's going to autofocus and take the photo. And once I kind of figure out what I like and the autofocus is good, I go back into my camera and turn it on to continuous shooting mode. So this takes 7 photos with 1 button press. So when I sit down, I just have to press the 1 button the 1 time and we're good. I also turn it on to manual focus after that because with the wireless and the continuous, it doesn't work. So I have to just set it on manual focus once I have the autofocus already done, and then just keep shooting and hope for the best. Okay, bam, we have an option, we have a winner. I am just going to pop my SD card out of my camera and we are gonna head down to my laptop. First thing I'm gonna do is choose the photo. Let's do this one, and the next thing I'm going to do is just drag it straight into Lightroom. Now, I know some of you might be like, oh my god, I don't have Lightroom, like I thought this was like a not Lightroom thing, but all I'm going to do in Lightroom, I'll show you guys, but there's just one thing that I do in Lightroom, well, not one, like a few things that I do in Lightroom. They're not necessary, I just do them because I do have Lightroom, and I've noticed this, like, couple things work better for my type of photos. So you don't have to do this by any means. You can totally just do the steps that we're going to do on my iPhone. In the spirit of honesty, we're going to pop into Lightroom right now. All I do for this is scroll down here and click on the enable profile corrections. So watch the screen for this. Profile corrections, literally it's going to change the shape of the photo. I'm not like 100% sure what it does, but I think it has something to do with like the way your lens is, where sometimes it'll like condense it or like stretch it in weird ways, and this like corrects everything that your lens kind of like screwed up. This photo is a little bit dark, so I'm going to increase the exposure and crush my whites a little bit. So for those of you that don't know what crushing your highlights or your whites mean, it literally just is like when things are blown out, like let me show you, like this, you can't see like detail or anything, but when you crush the whites, you can see like way more detail in things. So I like to crush my highlights and my whites, and then depending on if the black or the shadow is blown out, normally it's just my hair that I'm like, ooh, like should I bring that up or down? I'm gonna bring the shadows just up a little bit because the area that we shot in, even though it was like bright, it had a little bit of shadows here and there, so I'm gonna bring those up, just check what this looks like. I'm also going to just go in and turn the saturation of the orange up a little bit and the yellow down a little bit, just because my stairs get picked up as like yellow on my camera for some reason. So yeah, I like it. So then what I'm gonna do is just export it and airdrop it to my phone. All right, cool. So now that we're on my phone, I'm gonna just move over a little bit and so you can see what we're doing. So we're on my phone now. I'm just gonna heart this guy and we're actually gonna go into Facetune. So I have normal Facetune, it's just Facetune 1, it's not Facetune 2. I don't do a lot of Facetune stuff, but I do use a few things on there and I have like a technique of how I do this whole photo thing. So I'll open the photo and I'll do things like in order of the Facetune stuff at the bottom here. So the first one is Whiten. So this is normally just like for my smile. Sometimes it doesn't look the whitest in the photos and sometimes it'll pick up yellow on Lightroom. And if I'm trying to like do the yellows and stuff, it kind of just messes everything up. So the next is Smooth. I normally use this on my skin just because I have pretty bad acne scarring and yeah, I just don't love it. I don't go overboard though. Like I don't want to like trick you guys and think that I don't have acne scarring, but I do, and sometimes I'll Facetune it. Details is my absolute favorite one. I just feel like it makes it more like portraity, which is awesome. So I'll just like zoom in here and I'll always go over like my eyebrows, my teeth, and my eyelashes. And then also I think my hair looks really cool when it's detailed. And then maybe some stuff on the jacket and stuff like that. It just like makes it look a little bit more professional. Like I didn't, well, I mean, I took it on my professional camera. I just like don't really know what I'm doing with my professional camera. So everything that I shoot is just by fluke. Next up is Reshape and Refine. I use this guy sparingly, but sometimes I find like things look awkward. Like here, when you zoom in, this kind of looks like I have an Adam's apple, because of just like the way it is. So I'm just gonna get rid of her. So it looks like I'm a girl and I don't have an Adam's apple. I try to stay away from face tuning a lot of other things when it comes to my body. Sometimes I'll just like fix little things here and there. And then after we're done with that, I like to go in with the filters option. The filter that I always use is called Tawny, and it's like an orange and teal, which is really funny because orange and teal is literally what all of like the crazy movies and stuff use. So like Transformers, for example, color grades orange and teal in literally everything. So I'll throw that on very lightly and save it. I normally go between like 5 and 15. 15 is really good for photos that are like light and bright and stuff like that, but I kind of try to keep it to whatever the photo is, and I'll save that guy and airdrop it back to my computer. Once we are back here in my computer, I'll just pop this back into Lightroom so I can do some kind of like cross-referencing with the type of photo that is already on my Instagram, so I can make sure everything looks right. So I'll click on this all photograph option, develop, and I'll use the RA option, so that means reference. So I'll choose a photo that I really like the way it turned out. So as you can see, this is a little bit brighter still than the one that we have edited on the right. So I'm just gonna go in, bump the exposure up a little bit more, crush the highlights a little bit, and the whites just a little. I think I'm gonna bring the shadows up a little bit more too. There you go, you can see our before and after of our just edited photo. This is the Facetune one, so the one with the filter on it. This kind of stuff is literally just like tweaks that you don't have to do. It's just stuff that I do because I really enjoy photo editing. Final thing I'll do is just scroll down. I'll add some grain. I normally do 20 grain, and then keep this size and roughness situation going. And then I'm going to export and airdrop it back to my phone. Alright, so after this is back onto my phone, all I'll do is pop it into which is a Instagram planning app thing. I actually might go back into Lightroom and just flip it around because all of my photos recently I've been facing like this way when you look at it. So I might flip it around just to make sure it looks good. I'm gonna post the before and the after right now. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on today's video of how I edit my Instagram photos. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. I post videos every single day this May, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Okay? Bye, guys!
If you will tell me I'm the only one that you